Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got a post here from Hedera and they say, welcome GBBC as a Hedera Council strategic partner. GBBC is the largest leading non-profit industry association for blockchain, digital assets and emerging technology community. As a strategic partner, they strengthen the Council's ability to engage governments, enterprises and industry bodies worldwide. Okay, so I've got like the headline here. Hedera Council welcomes GBBC as the first strategic partner to enhance global blockchain adoption. So this is the Global Blockchain Business Council, aka GBBC. And yeah, I just wanted to get into this and share this with you. One, because they're a new council member from, the title. And two, just to show you what I actually think. It says council strategic partner. So I'm not sure if that's different to them being a council member, but strategic partner, council member, either way, it sounds like they're going to be working with Hedera. So obviously it's a positive thing. And I just want to get into why this could be a huge thing. So before I start off, I want to give a shout out to King Solomon, because he's someone who'd actually done videos around this a few months ago, actually. So he's someone who'd found this before and was speculating on, something going on with the GBBC. Again, as I said before, I give King Solomon his flowers. I think he's a really good content creator, realistic as well, not giving you the hype. He actually does deep dives on what he thinks is realistic and what he can see with actual evidence and data. So give him a follow and check him out. Also shout out to Not Jack for bringing this to my attention, also much appreciated. And I want to get into just what I think about this. So look, the thing for me about this is like what they're talking about in terms of being able to engage governments, enterprises and industry bodies worldwide, because that's what I think the positive about this is going to be, right? So if GBBC have all these, let's say, connections, because they're a non-profit, so they're already trying to basically, I assume enhance blockchain technology, that's what the actual company is about anyway. So if they've got all these connections because they've been trying to speak with, let's say, governments, companies, institutions, etc., trying to help get adoption, well, they know people, right? They know companies, they have connections, they've got all these people who they can bring to Hedera. So this is where I look at this and think, hey, this could open a door for Hedera to get some huge adoption, potentially, right? And I know like some of you might be saying, well, why does this really matter? It's a non-profit, it's not that big a deal. I think you've got to understand the power of like what having connections can do. Like at the end of the day, for some, they might say it's not necessarily fair, but it's the way the world works. Things work via connections. Like people, say sometimes it's not what it's who you know, right? Like that's a known saying. And, like in America especially, there's a thing called lobbying. And lobbying is just basically people paying, the government and stuff to help them get things done. It's literally paying people off. So it sounds crazy, but that is something that happens. You lobby for a cause, right? So, for example, Hedera could pay a lot of money to the government to say, we want fairer crypto, rules so that we can continue to build up on our network and help it get more adopted. So we're going to lobby to help you guys hurry up and get, for example, regulations done. So now we can have these big institutions who want to use our technology, the doors open for them and they can start getting involved. So that's just the way the world works. It's, it is what it is. So when I look at this, I'm thinking, what connections do these guys have? Because it says here, it'll enhance the council's ability to engage governments, enterprises and industry bodies like that. Those are big things that they're saying there. Industry bodies as well. So like, when you're talking again, like I said, regulations and stuff is a thing where they can get them in the meetings on the tables with people who are actually making regulations and stuff like that, frameworks in other countries and things. Because then that could be that Hedera has a say in that, because I'm pretty sure in the UK or within Europe anyway, I'm sure they were helping. I think it was with the MiCA rules, which is the European rules for stablecoins, and I believe it was crypto as well, but at the very least it was stablecoins. And Hedera played a part in that. So what you've got to think is, if you've got Hedera there, of course they're going to do things that's going to be in their interest as well, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think they're going to be just completely like looking out for themselves alone. They're going to try and make it for crypto as a whole, but of course they're going to make it so they benefit from it, right? Of course they're going to do that. So this is the thing where them having this kind of position and being able to get these connections via the GBBC, it could put them in place to really help shape things in their favor. You know what I mean? So if they was to say, yeah, we need this for crypto, you know, this has got to be something that we need to sort out, or this is a big hindrance for crypto adoption, and this is going to affect mass adoption on a big scale and stuff. They can try and iron out those problems, right? And so they can have that position to have that voice and to work with these governments and industry bodies, etc., enterprises, to be able to shape how the rules are and make it to their benefit. And don't get me wrong, when I say to their benefit, I think that'll be to crypto as a whole's benefit, but I do think, you know, it's going to benefit Hedera directly, of course. Now, to me, I think that's just something that could be a bigger thing than what I can really just, you know, say right here, because I know a lot of people might look at this and think, you know, it's just not that big a deal. But I don't know, man. Like, to me, I look at the potential of that, like having that access to so many higher figures and, you know, people or companies of power in certain positions, and I think, well, yeah, like if we're talking about trying to get crypto adopted on a bigger scale, and specifically Hedera, I think this partnership could be huge. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't know what kind of doors this is going to open Hedera to now. You know, so if you've got the right people in power, like for example, like, you know, Hedera, I believe like Leemon, Baird and Mance have gone to like a Trump dinner before, and, you know, been speaking to the crypto czar about adoption and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, of course they're going to, you know, of course they're going to fight for themselves and say, these are the kind of things that we need, right? And so this is the kind of thing they can do now on a bigger scale with people of other countries and governments of other countries. Do you know what I mean? So to me, I look at it from when we're thinking about a mass adoption standpoint and where we're going in terms of trying to get regulations out here across the board. Having like Hedera in those seats or opening those doors so they can speak with these people and stuff like that, that's the kind of thing that could help hugely with mass adoption, because they could make it very favorable for crypto as a whole. So that's how Hedera could end up getting adopted on a bigger scale, because they're trying to make it very fair for the crypto industry, you know? So I just think of this as a big positive. Like, I don't think it's something to really be underestimated. We'll see what comes of it. Obviously, you know, we're already in that phase now where you can see mass adoption is coming. There's regulations that are being worked out and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things going on. So I just think it's let stuff play out, see how it goes, and time will tell. But, you know, I look at this as a huge potential benefit. You know, I think there's a lot that could come from this. So I'm excited to see what can be done from this. And I do think it is going to be a net positive in the end. And yeah, like I just don't want to downplay this. I know a lot of people might just think they don't care, because again, it's about price when people think about it. But this is the kind of stuff that's going to help with price long term. You know, getting in that chance to, you know, have a company who's actually fighting for you to get more adoption, or giving you connections to people, companies, enterprises, governments, etc., who they can talk to. Like, yes, that's what you want. That's a huge positive. So yeah, I'm seeing the bright side of this, and I'll keep you updated on any further developments. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.